In this video, we will look at the need for business systems for your company and a simple model for such business systems. Customer expectations. One factor that had been helping companies to improve had been the customer expectations. This is so for all companies across the world. In case of Indian companies, the economic reforms since 1991 has brought in the customers from all over the world to its doorstep. Indian companies, especially the manufacturing companies, had long been attempting to improve themselves towards the customer expectations. Learning from the world. Indian automotive industry had been at the forefront of this improvement. Many companies have gone in for TPM, TQM, Six Sigma, and so on. There had been gurus coming from USA, Japan, and other places to teach all of us as to how we can do our business more efficiently. This had certainly helped many of the Indians to learn best practices from around the world. Many Indians have gone to these countries to learn from the gurus directly. This wave of improvement in Indian companies certainly helped them to understand world-class standards, and some companies have certainly achieved the world-class standards in PQCDSM. But, as all of us know, consistency is still the problem for all Indian companies. Tougher times. The last 5 years have changed the Indian economic scenario. The previous 2 decades saw many companies improve their top line and bottom line in a very big way. Many companies have grown several times over in these years. The business conditions have toughened since 2011. Growth in top or bottom line is now available only for those companies that can work hard to understand their customers much more, and those companies that can work efficiently within their companies. Your own business system. Now, to go to the next level of efficiency levels, I am proposing that all Indian companies should have their own business systems that are suitable to their business conditions. They should encourage their employees to build business systems. We can certainly pick up the best practices that are available across the world, like TQM, TPM, Six Sigma, and so on. But we should have our own way of doing our business. These business systems should recognize the strengths that the company has and also address the weaknesses that the company has. Full-time Business Excellence Coordinator. A full-time coordinator for running the business systems. The reality in most of the Indian companies is that all of us spend a lot of time on achieving the day-to-day targets. Example: production or sales targets for the month. We need to recognize this and have a full-time coordinator who is senior enough in the company to command some respect from the employees across the company. This full-time coordinator should report to the CEO. Let us look at some essentials that this business system needs to address. Business planning. We have heard several CEOs talking about their inability to execute. They keep talking about inefficiency in getting things done. They say, we have big plans, but we don't know how to achieve them. When we go into their plans, we often find some number targets for just about every metric in the world. Many companies stop at putting targets to their employees. This is grossly inadequate. The companies need to encourage their employees to analyze their own performance for the last year and bring out learnings from the performance. Plan in detail about the ways and means of achieving the targets that have been set. Business efficiency. A company needs to excel in the implementation of its plans. This obviously involves the work of all the functions in the company. A company needs to have a work management system that cuts across all the functions in a company. The WMS should address how the overall goals of the company are broken up and deployed to the various employees. It should deploy the goals as well as the means to achieve them. Other than this, every function should have its own system. Every company needs to develop its own unique way of selling its products. The sales and marketing methodology has to be documented. Similarly, a company needs to address its manufacturing systems. We can use all international best practices, but we should also address our own issues, like how we will grow our suppliers in terms of their business systems. A well-thought-out new product development system would save a lot of resources for a company. There is lot of scope for Indian companies to use IT tools to improve their efficiency. We have some of the best IT companies in the world. Business development. From time to time, a company needs to put a big thrust in bringing out fresh families of products or services for the customers. This way, they can keep propelling their businesses forward. Otherwise, there is a good chance of companies getting stuck with a particular way of approaching customers. A company needs to keep rediscovering how it can address the needs of the customers in a better manner. This will help them to continuously be ahead of the competition. While these are the major elements of a business system, the people element is perhaps the foundation for any company. Every company needs to have systems that would skill up its people and ensure they have a motivating environment in their companies. The wellness of employees should be addressed by the company. For this, the Indian methods of using yoga and meditation can be applied. Ultimately, the company needs to look at the reasons for its existence. A company that is able to look beyond the sales and profits to connect with a larger purpose of the society can be stronger and last longer. Example: how Toyota aims to contribute towards future of mobility on the planet. A company can have a goal that is larger than itself in its own sphere of influence. Once a company starts putting its own business system, the employees would start connecting to it much better. The business system should be put in place with the active participation of all its employees. Then, the ownership would be much better. Every Indian company needs to find its own way of getting things done and achieving its goals. This would give confidence to it that it can take on the world.